All right, welcome to another episode from the Chart Reader. So if you just watched my Tilray and ACB video, you're going to hear a good amount of the same thing that I said. Look, I made a video on Monday that did not age well. All right, weed stocks looking good. No, 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 no. That very much was not the case, right? I like to be louder about my mistakes than my right calls. Because look, end of the day, I'm trying to get better as a trader every day myself, right? And it's super important to not make the same mistake twice. How are you going to be a good trader if you can't do that, right? Really, a lot of the reason why I do this is actually more for me. You know what I mean? I want to make sure I know what I'm doing. And for real, if I was not recording these videos, I'd be doing the same thing. I would be thinking about why I got it wrong way more than all these, yeah, good jobs, because it's easy to replicate the good jobs. You know what I mean? That's knock on wood what I do more than this, right? I got Monday wrong hard. Monday the 22nd, weed stocks look good. No, 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 right? So I will talk about Monday a lot, and then end of the day, what next week looks like isn't very good, right? So there's not a lot of technical analysis there. But I also forgot to mention Hexo on the last video, so I am going to throw it in here. Obviously, Hexo looks a lot like Tilly. With that, what are we going to do today? Same thing we always do, right? We're going to take a look at the daily and the weekly to see how this thing is setting up short term. We have our 5 moving averages. There are horizontal support and resistance lines that I do draw manually myself. And then when we're done up here, we'll use the MACD, RSI, and volume as our lower indicators. Hey, really quickly, if you can please like this video, subscribe to the channel, share this thing with your friends, comment good or bad, and believe me, I'm ready for the bad since I was so wrong, right? But anything you can do really, really does help me out with the YouTube algorithms, all right? And hey, if you do nothing more than watch this, I am so grateful for your important time. You know what I mean? Let's get into it, all right? And again, I gotta start with talking about why I was wrong on Monday, all right? First things first, it really was the other charts. Tilray looked good on Monday. ACB, I believe at the time of my recording, was probably up here, but ACB was looking really good. High Tie, which we'll talk about in a minute, was looking really good. I believe I even flashed CGC looking really good. Cron, again, looking like, there were so many reasons why I was confident, and as honest as I am here that I was wrong, I don't regret saying it. I don't regret posting the video, right? I think the important thing is knowing how to know I'm wrong, right? I know how I was wrong, and I'm going to go over that, right? I think by Tuesday or Wednesday, it would have been really, really clear that I was wrong, and it would have been easy to avoid a lot of the Thursday and Friday pain that came to most of these. First, I'm going to talk about why I was confident with Monday. And again, I talked about all the other stocks looking good. The next thing is, for the most part, all of the stocks were either breaking an important line, on the verge of making a confirmation, and for the most part being well over the biggest candle to the left. Like, this one was kind of the biggest candle to the left, and that actually happened on Friday. You know what I mean? So Monday going above it, coming here, only added to it, right? Most of the MACDs and RSIs weren't bad. Most of them had good volume on Monday. I mean, I'm telling you, there was a lot of reason why I was confident on Monday. And as much as I'm very loud about being wrong, I don't think I was wrong for being excited. All right, that's kind of what I'm stressing. So how do we know I was wrong? All right, so a lot of it, number one, is we could have looked at other stocks. I think ACB was the loudest earliest. Okay, I've really said ACB kind of dictates the sector, in my opinion. That really is no fact base. That's just my thoughts, right? With ACB falling that hard, I think it was no surprise that others were. With Sandal in general, first and foremost, a doji doesn't count, but you gotta expect, I was thinking we were gonna go above and beyond the 100 moving average, right? From there, I always say the day after the doji generally pretty telling, right? I know Tony called this one out. I said day after the doji is telling, and we got it. We actually got 2 nice days. Day after the doji is also really telling, and unfortunately we got 2 worse days, right? So, you know, the doji thing is I'm not gonna lie to you, I think for real, I see another one right here, right? So I'm not here to talk about candles too much. The only things I really talk about are holding 50%, breaking lines, and knowing the doji call out, right? So even with Sandal, like I said, even let's say on Wednesday, let's say you don't even remember the doji thing. Wednesday closes under the 8 moving average. And by Wednesday, it's super easy to tell that we're not going, you know, maybe the thought would have been, hey, we're going to hit the 8 and bounce back up. That's arguable, right? But then again, Thursday morning, we've already lost the 20 pretty early, right? And it only kept getting worse from there. So again, 50% candle rule would have been an easy stop loss as well. Once this, you know, failed, get out, right? And again, that probably would have gotten you out well before the 20 was lost right there too, you know? So overall, one more time, I'm not here pretending that this video ages super poorly, for sure. But I think it's important to get excited when there's reason to get excited. But at the same time, you gotta know when that excitement has gone away really quickly. You know what I mean? So I'm excited for the comments. I really hope that like this video actually leads to a good discussion. And for sure gonna call this one a knowledge center video as well. I think there's a whole mess of good learnings here, okay? High tie. You know what? There's one more thing I wanted to talk about on Sandal. Sorry. There was also a uptrend that very easily you can see breaks, right? So again, I think on Thursday, like, oh man, I really hope most of you got out or you know, again, I'm not here to tell you what to do with your money, right? I know there are people here that are holding long and all that sort of stuff, right? But yeah, it hurts my heart. You know that, right? Like, I want everyone to make fat money and do really well. So man, high tide. Look, I've been talking about this stock and simply saying I'm not going to give this stock my money until we get over the 200 moving average. I've been saying that for so many videos now, and I think you can kind of see why. And I say it for so many stocks, in all honesty. I would much rather skip all the noise that comes with trying to break these moving averages and simply trade above and beyond, baby. You know what I mean? So I really want to call out that fact as well. Less about like a haha, I'm right kind of thing, and more for real. It's better to trade above all the moving averages than it is to be in between them, let alone when they're like this thick of a cluster, right? When it's spread out like this, yeah, there's a little bit more like belief that we can, you know, tackle lines one by one, right? But yeah, getting over the 200 was a really important criteria for this thing to gain my money, and it's never been able to do it, right? So just something I do want to highlight. From there, again, look, Monday hype, Tuesday fail. From there, we're starting to lose the 100 moving average, and then from there, obviously today we have now fallen below the 8 and the 20. That is not good, right? Again, I think the one cool thing with high tide is there was some good numbers on the earnings, right? So I think where others probably hurt more, this thing's at least holding horizontal. And for me, as a swing trader, I don't like horizontal, all right? In that case, I just put my money in the bank and watch that thing go horizontal for a year, right? I'm here to go up and sell before it goes down. But let's be honest, right? I'm about to flash Hexo in a second. I would much rather sit in this than see some shit like this, right? So for sure, I'm not taking that away from high tide. Obviously, I would have loved to break the 200 and fly. I'm really glad that this stock isn't hurting as bad as others, but it's close. Because if we lose the 50 moving average, if this thing loses 120, it's going to be a real quick fall to right here, roughly 124. And then again, losing 124, I'm just going to kind of extend it. I don't know if I just fucked it up by like doing it, but whatever, right? Like, you're going to go from here to maybe right here, call it 110. And then at that point, you're looking at 107 or worse. So I actually don't think I fucked it up that much. Sorry to curse. I do my best to not curse on these videos, but I'm pretty sure I was just trying to hit that candle right there. So I'm cool with that. But yeah, again, high tide, Same Monday fail, but I think it's fair to say that the moving averages are actually holding it pretty well. So that is kind of reassuring. And again, the weekly, not too much to talk about. End of the day, I'm telling you, I think the whole thing really is getting over the 200 moving average on the daily. There's actually not too much more for high tie. Hexo, I regret not putting it on my last video. Obviously, if Tilly is gonna buy Hexo and Tilly gaps down, Hexo will gap down as well. That's just the realities of being connected to the other stock, right? So look, again, Monday at one point was looking beautiful, looked like it wanted to crack 150 and just finish this gap fill that it never did. Clearly, it is now creating a new gap to be filled at some point in the future, right? But sweet Jesus, like I'm so surprised that an offering did this. I don't know how bad the terms were of the offering, but that's a ridiculous drop. You know what I mean? Especially for an offering. If it was a reverse split or something, yeah, I get it, but my goodness, just to say the least. So, hey, I'm excited for the comments one more time. I'm really hoping that like this is a real good discussion video. But yeah, you know me. I'm here to call out my wrongs way more than my rights. All right. Appreciate